Boom, welcome back to Sebs Show, everybody. It's your boy Sebs, co-host Gib, breaking down UFC Beijing literally hours before it starts here. It starts at 3:15 a.m. Eastern. We're here at 10:45 p.m. Eastern on Friday night, just the night before here, or the night of. We're gonna run through this super quick, so it's not gonna be a super long one, but yeah. All right. Let's start off with the exclusive Fight Pass prelims. We start off with the first fight of the night. Suma Demarj. How do you say his name, man?
Sumudarji?
Suma Demarji versus Luis Mocha. And I have 2 units on Suma Demarji at plus 150. Yeah, man. I think he's like 22 years old, young kid. It says on every other fight he's fucking 19, he's 20, he's 24. Yeah, it was like, bro, like fucking get your age together. Just like all these other guys, like Song Yadong and Yu Yazong, they all have different ages and shit.
You go out through a few different passports.
Yeah, fuck. But let's start off with the Smuadri guy. Nasty sidekick. He has a really nasty sidekick. Ranges different distance really well. I want to know his height actually. He looks pretty tall. Let's just see that real quick.
They said his height's about.
He's 5'8".
5'8", yeah.
Not bad. How tall is Smoka? He's probably the same height.
Smoka's like an inch taller, 5'9".
Yeah, 5'9". Okay.
Yeah, these are shoddy.
All right, but okay, so Samadja, I don't know, man. I like his striking. His striking's good. Ranges distance very well. Has a nasty right hand. Puts people on their ass. Like, tomorrow. Even when he lost that fight against the Leave in the second round by chokehold. Submission. Yeah, he was fighting off a lot of takedowns early on. And I see that the kid actually worked on his. It's like once he gets on the ground, he doesn't really know too much jiu-jitsu, but he's got pretty decent wrestling. Pretty a nice clinch and everything. He's got a good takedown defense, and he keeps his distance very well with that side kick and throws like piss. He's got crisp hands, man. I can see him really hurting Smoka. Like Smoka got hurt in his last fight not his last fight, but his last fight in the UFC against Mateus Nicolau.
Oh, yeah.
Nicolau fucked him up.
That was a 3-round fight.
Yeah. And Nicolau fucked him up. But even his fight against Kyle Estrada there, his last fight ever and for CXF when he was fighting for the belt there, he got rocked in that fight too, and he ended up overcoming adversity and won in the second round. Because Kyle Estrada couldn't even stand in his corner, but Smoker's got some good ground and pound. He's slick in the grappling. He's quick in the transitions and whatnot. Something that Sumadri has to be careful of. I only took a 2-unit shot is probably because of that, is just in case the ground he hits the ground. But I do like his chances here to stand and bang with Luis Smoka and probably win it. If not finish, Luis Smoka win a decision here and outpoint him because of more strikes and whatnot, more volume.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, seeing as Luis Smoka, more of a ground guy. His last win, I believe, was against Ben Nguyen in a fight where he actually got a lot of back threats early, had to get out, and had to deal with a lot of trouble. But when he got out of a leg lock, when he forced a leg lock on Ben Nguyen, which made him give him that space, he was able to get off of his back, going for an impressive dart stroke in the ground and really threatening the submissions until he ended up getting Ben Nguyen off of his back. Brandon Moreno fight is not even finished, but losing 2 decisions in the UFC before having his last 3 fights outside of it. He's got a nice front high kick that he can be pretty accurate with if he's landing his jabs and uppercuts, and has some pretty good clinch work and little shots in the middle that he gets in between. He has some decent body shots, and he's definitely a lot of trouble when he gets mount and starts raining some elbows down. That seems to be the punches that he really favors. But Samadri, on the other hand, from what I see, his footwork is wicked fast and difficult to catch him, and that's just him on cruise control. He's pretty good at escaping some submissions, but he does have to scramble a lot and try to get out of there, using up a lot of energy. But like you said, he defends the wrestling pretty well in the early stages. Man, if you don't see his piston right hands coming down the middle, it's good night for you. He's really fast, and he can be really creepy. And Smolka doesn't really do well against a lot of fast hands and fighters who have a lot of jumping attacks. I've seen him throw a flying knee before and go for these types of strikes, and I think that's something that could definitely play a big role in this fight and keep scrambles at a minimum. So I think Samadri also takes out Louis Smolka in this fight.
Oh, you think he finishes him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him finishing him. He's got
if he gets on a roll, like early.
Yeah, and he's the type of guy to get on a roll early too.
His strikes at least.
And I think he's going to be pumped up by the crowd.
Oh yeah. Hometown.
All right, let's go to our second fight here. Kevin the Trailblazer Holland versus John the White Mike Tyson Phillips. Such a cool nickname. I took Kevin Holland literally right before the podcast here. Points. I took 0.6 units on Kevin Holland by submission at plus 175. I think he can beat John Phillips anywhere in this fight. He's the rightful favorite, but he's got to be careful with John Phillips' boxing. He's got to keep it at range and use the grappling to his advantage. Once he takes John Phillips down, I see John Phillips getting submitted just like he usually does, especially for like guys like Charles Bird and whatnot. Quick analysis there, man. I think Kevin Holland wins this by submission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta agree with you in that fight where Phillips got rushed by Charles Bird. You know, a lot of quick groundwork seems to be a very big weakness for him. Although John Phillips does have some great hands. I mean, his hooks and kind of hurricane movements, looping right hands, every sort of body shot that you can think of. He really throws the kitchen sink at fighters, and to do these strikes, it takes a lot of grit, because he does tend to take a shot to give one back, slipping punches and walking fighters down. And I think this is going to be an interesting fight because they both like to talk shit. John Phillips laughs at a lot of opponents. Check out how he beat up James Zikic. Just battered him around and only really missing a few times early. Seemed to always find overhand rights and big body shots, and almost make a lot of fights seem like a boxing match. The problem is Kevin Holland is amazing with kicks. He throws an axe kick every now and then. I think he danced a little too awkwardly against Thiago Santos. I think he needed to keep a lot of his moves in line and maybe pick from a few instead of being so wild. He likes to talk shit as well, which I don't think works well for him in that fight, but could work well in this one, especially if John Phillips sparks back. It might be a little interesting. I like John Phillips' hands in this. I think he does absorb a few too many leg kicks, and if Kevin Holland is on him early with it, I can see where Kevin Holland wins, and a bit more of a better submission guy, whereas John Phillips, I can really only see him by hitting a knockout punch or something. So I got John Phillips anyway. I like his style. I like his kind of hit for hit type fighting. So I think he beats Kevin Holland, but it's a tough fight for him.
Very tough fight for him. Kevin Holland, I think, is one of the new breeds. And,
yeah. And he lost to Thiago Santos for a reason. So.
And when you train at SBG, you lose. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
you're Brad Katona and Conor McGregor, you're losing.
you're on notice.
But next up, we got Yao Xiaonan taking on Suri Kondo. Um, I'll start off with this. I got Yao Xiaonan in a parlay with somebody later in the card for 5 units. And super confident Yao Xiaonan. Very good striker. Um, we saw what she did to Kaylin Kern, what she did to Vivian Pereira.
Yeah.
I just that nasty hook kick that she throws from the side. She'll throw it into your gut. She'll throw it at your face. She's got very nasty jabs and straight rights. She's also a beast on the ground. She can hit an armbar and whatnot. Uh, Siri Kondo isn't. She throws a lot of weird punches and stuff. Used to be a professional wrestler. Used to be like a pop singer. Fucking I don't know, man. But Yao Shannon should feast on her and should really show that like China top team is one of the elite camps here in China and Beijing, and the hometown advantage is to be on her side, and I see her doing major work here. So I have 5 units on her with somebody parlay with somebody later in the card.
Yeah, I think Suri Kondo coming back from that loss against Polina Patello, ridiculous body kick that she took in that fight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, those happen every now and then. You'll see that kick that lands on the floating rib or right in the liver or kidneys, and not a good shot to take, especially with someone like that. But before that fight, she fought Chan Mijan, and she did pretty well.
She did okay,
it was a
but
split decision. It was a split.
Chanman John isn't anything special. That Chanman John girl.
You're right. It was a split decision, and I think she got a lot of wait time, but she had some decent forward movement. She didn't really back up too much, and she kind of knocked her head off every now and then. Threw some basic 1-2s in there, and had some patient leg kicks, popping her right hand in and out. She's got pretty good elbow right over Jian's elbows, which is her kind of like her type of strike, and she loops punches pretty well. When fighters are going kind of side to side and they're a little difficult to land with the straight shots, whereas Yan is all about the kicks. I mean, just her raising her front leg seems to back up fighters when she gets it going from a distance, and when they try to sneak in past her distance, she doesn't let people cross that bridge without paying some sort of toll. She abuses fighters who stand tall or turn away. And she tends to contend that with lots of striking and leg kicks. And she's really good at timing the leg kicks, so she floors opponents. That's big because I mean, how many times are you gonna flop on the floor, and you're giving up all this time and space that Yan can just kind of come in, or how she can stand there and kind of watch you flop around like that. She was able to destroy Vivian Perez so fast because of that, and chopped her legs up with some really explosive leg kicks. And can take a punch too if she needs to, just to add in a shot of her own. Man, that wushu style is deadly. I can see why those competitions are actually pretty heated. If you check out on those YouTube videos, her wushu fights are pretty good. I got
I've never watched any of her wushu fights.
Pretty sure she's got that fucking style, man.
Yeah,
I got Yan in this fight.
Yeah, how can you not, man? She's dangerous. Next up, we got Penguin Lu or Lu Penguin.
Martin Day.
Yeah, Martin Day.
Yeah.
I think I've been spelling Mr. Penguin Lu's name wrong this whole time.
Is it Pingyuan?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, and then Liu, Liu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I got 3 units on Pink One Blue here at -190. I don't know if you've seen it get recently get, but training at Team Alpha Male right now with Song Yadong, and he's a fucking he's jacked right now. Lu Pingwan he used to fight at flyweight, and he looks like a fucking like a little lightweight man. He's actually jacked right now. He's really good, and I know working at Team Alpha, when the guy's getting his wrestling rounds in, which is good.
Yeah.
But and he's got a great double leg already coming into Team Alpha. Before he trained at Team Alpha, he's got a really nice double leg where he puts guys on their ass, and he just can finish you from the bottom with a nasty Kimura. He puts a lot of strength into these Kimuras that I watched him finish and whatnot. He'll rip your arm off.
See the Stasiak fight?
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, he beat Damian Stasiak and looked pretty good and somewhat respects. But Damian Stasiak, I think, is no easy task. But I think Damian Stasiak's actually a better striker than Martin Day here. Martin Day is a pretty boxer. Likes to throw a lot of spinning shit as well. But he used to fight at flyweight for most of his career. Fucking it gets taken down pretty easily, and like Penguin, Yu is a master of that. So I think he can take him down and just fight him out and finish him from the bottom here. Not much else to say, man. I can see Martin they having some success on the feet, but Pingwan Lu hitting him with the harder shots, that having more of an impact standing up, and once they hit the ground, I think it's game over. So I got Pingwan Lu here, probably by a second or third round finish. I got 3 units on him at -190.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird fight. I saw Martin Day on the Snoop cast. His kicks look really good. Like you said, he throws a spinny shit. But I think he might have a bit of a weird boxing stance, seeing as he's got the wide legs and he gets kicked right away. But he's got a pretty nice left hook that he can turn over at any time. Turned it over on Alvarez a lot in that fight backing up. You need a lot of speed early to avoid his kicks and counter back right away when he misses those spins. Because he's got those ready to go at a moment's notice, and he's got a guillotine submission in his back pocket at all times too. He's got pretty good takedown defense, some decent high hands if he's going to take that kind of low stance, and he's good at landing punches to the body, and kicks seem to be in a good mix in with his left hook. Bingo Liu, on the other hand, interesting low stance as well. So it's kind of like low stance against low stance here. He goes for Kimuras real nice, gets mount, master at throwing little punches that slowly add up into kind of bigger and more raining shots. There's an amazing escape from a triangle in an amateur MMA fight that shows just how flexible he is. He's getting, when he gets out of a submission, they had like leg kick pads on, but it was just pretty impressive how he got out from like a real deep armbar. He punches straight down the middle, some basic boxing, but hey, it lands him a lot. Lands a lot of the time for him, and he's got great body triangles and triangle chokes. So he's good at grabbing the legs out from under you, really feeding you right hands. Like I said, killed Damian Stasiak in that fight. Really good at clinching up and throwing strikes. Not many leg kicks needed in that fight, actually. So he's going to be going up against a lot of Martin Day's boxing, just straight up. And he had a few nasty spinning kicks of his own. So it's almost like a style versus style matchup. It's a coin flip here, man. I'm actually going to go with Martin Day since they're a little similar, man. Don't you think? That just kind of the low stance. They both kind of throw the spin kick every now and then.
Not really, man. Ping Lu is way more powerful than Martin Day. Martin Day is a
on
fucking
the
flyweight.
yeah on the ground maybe.
Standing up too. Haven't you seen his knockouts, bro? Martin Day doesn't have knockouts like that.
He's got some pretty interesting kicks, man, from that first fight on the Contender Series. Even if Contender Series alone, like I think Lou had a way tougher fight than Martin Day did. So
and Jamie Alvarez dominated him. Once he got on top,
he was hitting him up.
And Roland Hernandez, when he fought Martin Day, man, fucking beat the fuck out of him.
I'll have to check that one out, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. Martin Day is, I think Ping Lu's going to kill him. And it's in China. Yeah, man. I'm with Ping Lu all day, man.
All right.
All day. That's an easy one for me. All right. Next, we have Weili Zhang to get on Jessica Aguilar. And this is who I have. This is who I have parlayed with Yao Xiaonan. 5 units. I got 5 units on Yao Xiaonan and Weili Zhang minus 197 here. And I just think Weili Zhang she's fucking 17-1. Let me just count their finishes for you guys real quick. Real quick. Let me just do this. 1, 2. Oh shit, I lost it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bro, she's 17-1. She's got 15 finishes, and she's a strawweight.
Oh yeah, she only has 2 decisions.
That being to Daniel Taylor, who moves a lot.
Oh well, 3 decisions because the one loss she has is a decision.
Yeah. And then to Aline Saddlemeyer, whoever that is. But I've seen these finishes, and she's ruthless, man. She's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, might be a brown belt now. Fucking just ruthless on the ground. Will take your back. Will break your arm. Nasty arm bars. And her striking is very serious. Great striking. Great kicks. Very nice side kick that she throws to the gut. It's like a lot of these Chinese fighters have that side kick to the gut. She's just dangerous, man. She's won a whole bunch of titles outside the UFC. And I think she's just way better of a striker than Jessica Aguilar. I think she just beats up Jessica Aguilar a lot, beats the fuck out of her, and probably finishes her too. I can see a 3rd round finish here with Weili Zhang, just defending takedowns, being the stronger fighter, and just defending the clinch. And just she threw a break elbow from the clinch one time, knocked her opponent right out. It was disgusting. She's very dangerous. I'm with Weili Zhang all day. Jessica Aguilar didn't impress me in the Jodie Escobar fight. Jodie Escobar is nothing special, and I took Jodie Escobar in that fight. And from Jessica, I don't know, man. It was a tough fight. Tough fight to call, but obviously Jessica won that fight. I wouldn't argue. But yeah, I think Weili Zhang is just like way better here, and she's gonna be in China as well here at her hometown. I think she puts it on Jessica Aguilar. So I got 5 units on Yao Xiaonan and Weili Zhang for minus 197. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Jessica Aguilar, very difficult pressure because she's got some quickness, man, and she can be very scrappy. Looks to kind of control fighters on the ground or push them up against the fence. Pretty good at sweeping people's legs and trying to get those knees in there or clinch. Wants to jump and pass a guard, go for a ground and pound when she is on the ground. Mostly tries to put some sort of sand in the eye, some kind of hands in your face, and then look to go for that takedown. Good at staying just out of range, darting in and out. Not much of a kicker, and really favors takedowns and if she's really feeling up to it, she'll throw some good uppercuts and kind of sneaky punches in there. Whereas Zhang kind of has the whole bag of kickboxing and jiu-jitsu on the floor. I think Veronica Lords or might be Veronica Garano. It might have been. Zhang was throwing like kicks on her, and she smashed 2 leg kicks on her, left side, right side, bang, hit her in the left, and then she steps to the right, bang, hits her again. Really good at, like you said, that side kick to the body. Sometimes really abuses fighters who have that high chin. Throws those knees to the body on the clinch, landing good jabs, getting into clinch work, and then looking to, threaten more strikes and even go for chokes from the back. Some nice spin kicks, good at leg sweeping, and man, her kickboxing is really in line. So I think she kind of tools Jessica Aguilar around if it does go to like a decision or something on the stand-up. Because I could find it really difficult for Aguilar just to put Weili Zhang on the floor. I could see her getting her to the fence a few times, but not really having enough force or pressure to put her on the floor. I think Zhang's taking it with kicks.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. I can see that. I think the next fight is Huya Zhang and Rashad Coulter. Get Bella to take this one.
Yeah, man, Rashad Coulter, rough go in the UFC lately, but I mean, it doesn't mean that he hasn't been up against some really high-level opponents, man. Sherman's kicks were difficult, but Rashad landed some punches early and made him pick up his feet a little bit more. Coulter has a very open stance. He is a football player, so he tends to just take the leg kicks and try to use decent punch selection to kind of remedy that. So if he is taking a big kick, he's going to try to line up a body shot or maybe line up like a big overhand right. Check out that Chase Sherman fight because, man, it's a warrior fight when he's moving. Throws the kicks in round 1, biting down on the mouthpiece in round 2, and after more leg kicks, looking out of it until out of nowhere just threw a deadly combination and put Chase Sherman on the floor. Always working and staying close with speed, low stance. He took that Sherman fight on short notice, I heard as well. You can't keep your head up in the air against Rashad Coulter. He's going to slam it down with a big, devastating right hand. Got subbed by Derek Perkins. Got a Kimura early, whereas Hu Zhang, I seen him jump early for a guillotine against Cyril Asker, but didn't quite get it. He seemed to lose a little bit of energy after that submission attempt. And from that point on, when Asker took his back, it was kind of over. Hu Zhang kind of had to start putting out an offense. He seemed to have some leg kicks that started to come out, but before Asker started swarming him, it just didn't work. I think his first fight didn't go very well for him, but I think Rashad Coulter has had quite a few big high-level fights not go his way. So I think he's kind of used to it by this point. He's looking for that win now, and who's kind of coming in a little bit unfamiliar, coming in off the first loss on his UFC fight record. So I think Rashad Coulter takes it. Rashad Coulter takes it. I didn't see much from Zhang Hu from even his earlier fights.
All right, so this is pretty much like this is gonna be a slop fest. Two guys moving down from heavyweight to light heavyweight. Rashad Coulter yesterday. I don't know if you know this kid. He missed weight.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
shit.
200. He missed weight by 2 pounds, which isn't going to help his cardio by any means because he already
No.
has horrible cardio. He has horrible cardio. But that being said, man, I haven't seen anything from Hugh Song, anything special. I think these guys get in a slugfest in the first round. One of them goes down, and I think Rashad Coulter's gonna be the one who puts Hugh Zong down, man. So I'm going with Rashad Coulter as well here. I think he knocks out Hugh Zong in his hometown. No bet or anything, but oh, actually, I do have a bet. I have
You know Rashad Coulter?
no, I have 5 units on Yazong versus Coulter fight. Doesn't go to decision parlayed with something else. So I don't think the fight's going to decision here. I think somebody's gonna get finished, and I got it parlayed with something later in the card.
Nice.
I
can see that happening.
Yeah. So next up we got. I'll let you take this one. We got Wu Yanan or Yanan Wu taking on Lauren Mueller.
Yanan Wu, unfortunate that she got rushed early by Gina Mazzani. Had real big troubles after that, just kind of getting her off. Kind of worked some pretty good fence work actually, and kind of controlling her and pushing her up, throwing those knees. She did take a few punches, and when I believe Mazzani went for a takedown, Wu kind of countered it and stepped back and moved, and even went into some ground and pound punches, but just could not keep her on the floor long enough. And her kind of lulls in the fight tended to leave her behind in the rounds. So she was always kind of playing catch up with a lot of her basic jabs and kind of strikes, trying to get her to back up and kind of walk her down up against the cage so she can do that type of style, really rush her up, grind her against the cage. Laura Muller, on the other hand, made Kelly Velasco real nervous as she put her on the fence through lots of little shots, mainly knees, would absorb a lot of stick to throwing her punches on the inside. A lot of good uppercuts from her as well. She's a constant threat on the feet. In that Shana Dobson fight, she was all over that one. Really good job landing the jabs, being defensive and offensive about her movements. Lands right kicks and then lands the lead leg kick as well. Looking to line up the right hand right over. Glides around on the feet, being really difficult to catch, and she's really good at turning that left hook over, left hook right hand combo. All she needs is that 2-shot. She would 2-shot Dobson and then jump back out. Dobson actually started to rally up an offensive in the late rounds. I think it was like the third she started smacking her around. But Laura Mullen had a real good control over the fight and stayed calm during that time. So I think she's good at landing those punches and keeping them landed even in really tough situations. She seems to choose just the right amount of punches to throw and then leave. I think she can decision win Yana Wu in this one.
Yeah, I'm also with you on that. I think fucking Lauren Mueller is probably the better fighter here. She looked good against Shanna Dobson. Nothing special or anything, but I think she looked good. Nothing too much to break down on this. I just think Lauren Mueller is going to win the unanimous decision. Outstriking Yanan Wu, being the better striker and probably the better grappler as well here. Okay. Just give me 1 second.
That's all good.
Next up, we got Song Kanan taking on Alex Morono. And I got 1.82 units on this fight going under 2.5 rounds at plus 110. Shout out to MMA Lock Knife for pointing out this play. I think there's going to be a finish on their hands in this fight. I think both guys throw really hard and come to throw and come to the battle. I think there's a finish here, so I put 1.82 units on at plus 110 here, and I like Kenan Song a lot in this position. The guy doesn't throw a ton of volume, but throws very hard shots. Not super technical. Alex Morono, same thing. Not super technical, throws very hard shots. He likes to use his range as well. Both guys have respectable chins. This is a tough one to call, but I got Kenan Song here.
Yeah, I can see that. Kenan Song to me seems like a bit more well-rounded out of the two, and he's got some great spin kicks given the space. Not a fighter you want to stay standing with because both his basic punches and unpredictability to switch up to his crazy stuff can really throw fighters off. Took a few leg kicks in his Aldana fight. More damage can build up and really start at that early. Fast speed walk forward, like Aldana could not walk away and kind of reacted to Aldana's posing a little bit, and a straight right hand that floored Aldana, knocking him out. Alex Morono, on the other hand, he's got a seek and destroy right hand as well. He can really crumble fighters. Good at targeting skills. Really good at the front, hitting the front leg of fighters if they're planting it and they don't get it out of the way. Took out Berkman. Really greasy, fast guillotine on him. Very competitive with Kita Nakamura. I advise you to check that fight out. Real good spinning kicks. It's a real brawl of a fight. He favors knees. He lands a jab hook combo that I really like, and he has an awesome fight actually against Nico Price, and I think he gets like a spinning back fist knockdown, and I think that fight ended up getting disqualified, right? That was like
fight
or something.
No contest because Nico Price smoked pot.
Yeah. That was an awesome one. I suggest watching that if you want to see what types of strikes this guy throws. And on that note, I'm definitely taking Alex Morono because of that. I just think that back fist or that backhand is always going to find its place, and when it does, it seems to have some devastating results. So, yeah, I got Morono in that.
Okay. I think we're at our main card here. Yeah, we are. First fight of the main card, we got Li Jingliang versus David Zawada. And this is another fuck. Why did I close the page? I got I believe 1.25 units on the under 2.5 here. Yeah, 1.25 units. Jingliang and Zawada under 2.5. Plus 160. Both guys throw really hard, just justify my thing, and both guys have finishes. Zawada can finish this on the ground easily if you want. So can Jingliang, but both guys can finish this on the feet. A small stab at plus 160 here. But I do think Li Jingliang can win this fight. I'm picking him to win. I think he does well in his hometown or in his home country of China, and the guy throws hard, man. Really good combinations. Likes to stalk his prey and whatnot, and just throws bombs. Doesn't really care for the counter strikes too much, and will just get into the pocket and throw until he gets a knockout. David Zawada is pretty much the same way, man. He likes to jump into the pocket, throw a lot. If he takes you down, he likes to look for that submission as well. A couple submissions on his record there. Yeah, man, both guys tough. But I see a finish happening here. But I'm going with Li Jingliang, probably to knock out David Zawada in the second round.
You know what? I think David Zawada started things off pretty well with Danny Roberts, even taking that split decision loss. Landing a lot of good punches early in the clinch, little shots. Has a has a lot of fights where his back is up against the cage and can come right back from that. Difficult to kind of time pressure on this guy because Zawada's a bit of a pressure killer. Kind of walks through some punches and does take a few, but he kind of juggernaut at times and really go for that takedown on the scramble. And he can set up some pretty big submissions if he wants to in between his striking. Check out the armbar in the dying seconds of that Roberts fight because he had to really hustle. And this year seems to be the year of like the Hail Mary submission. So, watch out for that, man. David Zawada has some pretty fast submission skills. Jing Liang, on the other hand, one of my favorite fighters. He's super entertaining to watch. Check out his Frank Camacho fight. That's just a brawl. He lands lots of heavy shots. Check out the second round of that Frank Camacho fight. If you're suffering from pressure, he's always throwing punches wildly in that close range position, and he's always looking to kind of rally up a machine gun punch with that never stop pace. Likes to trip people. Threw down on Bobby Nash. At just the right time, always seems to explode, and a lot of people have trouble stopping him on that explosion. He does tend to sit and wait for a little long, but when he does throw, he's sprinting. He's called the Leech for a reason because once his game starts, it's real difficult to get him off you. Really good at isolating the legs. He's good at hooking that one leg and kind of locking it down. Throwing lots of punches to make people turn away, and then he'll try to grab the back after. He works some amazing submissions as well, and it almost seems like some of his strikes are invisible just because he's coming at you at all these different angles, and the one that hit you and knocked you out just seems to be really sneaky. That submission, David Zawada almost pulled off on Danny Roberts, kind of has me questioning it. But I do want Jing Liang to win this one. I'm going for Jing Liang here, just for out of nowhere wildness here, and I think it'll be a great fight too.
Yeah, I can see it being a really, really entertaining fight. Next up, we got Song Yadong taking on Vince Morales. Yeah. I took one unit on Vince Morales here at plus 350. I just don't think he should be anywhere near that line. He's plus 420 right now. He's a big underdog, and he's a really good fighter, man. He's
tough as nails.
Yeah, solid fighter, man. Didn't want to tap against Domingo Pilarte.
That was unreal.
And he beat the fuck out of Domingo Pilarte in the first round too.
Man, I'm surprised they didn't stop it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't stop it as well. But whatever, I like him a lot here. I know Song Yadong is the rightful favorite. Good striker, especially at 20 years old and whatnot. Coming out of Team Alpha Male, he doesn't lack any. He's a good wrestler and whatnot everywhere. What more can I say, man? I took the shot on Vince Morales. I think Vince Morales can win this fight on points, or if he uses his state championship wrestling here and can wrestle his way to victory. But I do like Vince Morales a lot in the spot. I think Song Yadong's beatable, and I think he's a little bit overhyped, especially at minus 600. I don't think he should be on minus 600. So I played Vince Morales here. I like one unit at plus 350.
Yeah, I think Song Yadong comes in with a lot of fast jabs and a super sparked right hand. that can get thrown at any time. It can be a real blur to deal with, and a non-stop, step-by-step moves that you need to land to keep him away. You also have to watch out for that his kicks. He's always throwing them, and he can sometimes throw to the groin. I believe he got a no contest due to that. He kicks a bit wildly. His right hand is a machine gun. He's got a good eye for body shots before and after kicks. Flooring Arantes in their fight, taking a high head kick from the left side and then landing his trademark right hand after the kick landed. I always like that. But Vince Morales, this kid's tough as nails. I really like that Pilarti fight because Pilarti started to get a nice pace going. He was southpaw in that fight, so it was a little awkward for Morales to deal with. And for the most part, I'm watching Morales getting picked apart until all of a sudden he sneaks in this punch. And it looked to me like it might have been a bit of a fluky. But I mean, when I started looking into Vince Morales a little bit more, his style of fighting, I mean, his punches that he throws are so quick, man. I mean, these hooks almost look so fast. Almost seems like he can open hand slap people and knock them out because it's coming that quick. He's got, again, really quick hooks, and he combines that with kicks. It's equivalent to like getting hit by like a cat swipe, but I mean, he's a tiger. Can beat you up with boxing and then take an underhook and go for a takedown into some ground and pound. He wins due to having a really high pace with a few rests in between, as he kind of let Pilarti pick him apart early with a lot of single punches, but he really saves his shots for when he can line it up and when he throws in on the inside. He got a win over Justin Hugo in Bellator. I didn't see that one. Maybe I'll check that one out after this. But yeah, I got Vince Morales here. I think he's still really tough. And the Contender Series kind of displayed that, obviously not wanting to go out during that choke. And I think he's going to show more of that during the Yadong fight, and how maybe even end it early with one of those Fury swipes.
Yeah, who knows, man? Fucking, he looks good. I like the kid.
Yeah.
Next up is our co-main event. We got Alistair Overeem taking on Sergey Pavlik, and I was looking to bet Sergey Pavlik coming in.
Really?
And, yeah, I really liked him. And then he's 12-0. He's a Fight Night Global champion. And then I started watching this fight, and the guy stands right in front of his opponent, doesn't move his head. Very patient when he throws. He just throws these power shots and whatnot. Nothing special. He shouldn't be the favorite, I believe. I think Overeem should. But Overeem's chin is a big issue, man. If this guy lands one bomb, the Sergey Pavlik guy, Overeem can be fucking sleeping.
Yeah.
But I do like Overeem to outpoint him here and maybe finish him late, or just outpoint him for a decision or something. We see how that Overeem is fighting these days, and I just didn't see that much out of Sergey Pavlik for him to be the rightful favorite. But Overeem, I can't bet on him either because of the chin, like I'm saying. But he looked good at it. Alistair Overeem has had a tough little bit. He lost Curtis Blaydes from those elbows, knocked out by Ngannou.
Yeah. He lost to the main event pretty much.
Yeah. But the Sergey Pavlik, this is a tough fight for him on both ends, but tough fight for both of them. It's going to be a good fight, but I got Alistair here.
I know what you mean. I think Alistair has a ridiculous background in terms of striking stand-up that he can pull off with anyone that just hasn't really been around the game as long as him, and he really does have that. But obviously that chin is deteriorating over the period of fights. We just don't know how long he can be that dominant force in the center of the octagon as well as he used to be. great single leg kicks. Can add the body shots in there when he wants to. This guy's a K1 champion. Everybody's seen a lot of the fights. I think Sergey Pavlov, sharp punches. He's got a pretty good eye and likes to land his pop shots, whether it's his left or his right. Tries to control the center of the octagon just as much as Alistair Overeem does, kind of stepping forward. Goes for that takedown every now and then. Goes mostly front kicks. Mostly wins a lot of his fights with punches, but he has thrown people up against the fences before. 9 finishes. Has yet to get submitted. Gladly take out more people with the finishes that way. No decisions, 3 decisions. If it doesn't knock him down, he's always ready to counter. If it just kind of touches him on the chin, he's ready to throw down and looking to counter back. He's got good body shots. Alexei Kudin stood with him and actually traded body shots with Pavlovich, and it seemed to add up and really go into the decision. So if Alistair can maybe pop in some body shots and change levels a lot, he could win this fight just off of experience alone. But I think this Pavlovich guy might be scary, and he might be a lot for Alistair Overeem to handle after the first round. So I got this Sergey Pavlovich.
I don't blame you. He looks a little scary.
We have a lot of Dagestani guys.
Yeah, he trains at Eagles MMA, where Khabib's from. Actually,
he beat Magomed Galagiv, and he's only had 1 loss to that guy. So,
wow. All right, so our main event of the evening, guys. Curtis Razor Blaydes taking on Francis the Predator Ngannou. I have 4 units on Curtis Blaydes at -210, and then I got 5 units on the fight doesn't go to decision here, parlayed with the Yazong versus Coulter. Fight doesn't go to decision at -142. A lot of units on this fight here. I think it's Blaydes in decision here. I know a lot of you are screaming through your things. Why didn't I play Blaydes' decision plus 115? I like this play a little bit better. I think Blaydes can, just in case Blaydes does win the decision, I have my ass covered in one part. But I think it's Blaydes. I think it's going to be Blaydes in decision here. Inside, I think it's Blaydes inside the distance. I mean, Blaydes is gonna be able to take Ngannou's one of his best shots, I think. And he's got a strong chin on him. We've seen him take his Mark Hunt's one of his, Mark Hunt's hardest shots. It took it on the chin, man.
Completely on the chin.
Yeah, and this guy's scrapped with Alistair Overeem. Took his shots, took him down. Finished Alistair Overeem with elbows. I see the same path going to Francis Ngannou here. Francis Ngannou got mauled by Stipe Miocic. Stipe just took him down repeatedly, time after time, and Francis was really gassed. Had no answer for that. I think Curtis Blaydes is even better wrestler, being a JUCO national champion. I know in the first fight, Francis Ngannou was just standing up and popping up off those takedowns. I don't see that happening in this fight. I see him taking him down time after time, especially over 5 rounds, wearing him out and then finishing him out maybe in the second or third round. Just tiring him out a lot and going for a lot of takedowns. Maybe even the 4th round to finish. But I do like Razor Blaydes here a lot. I just see it being the same thing as that Stipe fight, but with a finish here. I think Razor Blaydes sets Curtis Blaydes sets a dominant statement for himself and finishes Ngannou here with the elbows on full mount here. He just gets on top of them and finishes them. So I'm going with Curtis Razor Blaydes here. I got 4 units on him at -210, and then I parlayed Yazong and Coulter fight doesn't go to decision, and Blaydes versus Ngannou fight doesn't go to decision minus 142, 5 units.
You know what? I think that's the way the first fight could have ended if one, it wasn't stopped, and two, it went into that third round where Ngannou looked tired,
Blaydes was
tired after the second.
But Blaydes was getting jabbed up a lot.
He was, but
I feel like people have to. But a lot of people have to understand that Blaydes was training at UFC Gym Chicago, man, your UFC local gym. Now he's training in Colorado at Team Elevation with Cody Donovan, Elliot Marshall, Mr. Bowling, guys like this that are just fucking animals. You know what I mean? And just he's on top of his game. I think we're gonna see the best Curtis Blaydes we've ever seen tonight.
I 100%. As you saw in the first fight, man, Francis Ngannou, he was tagging Blaydes a lot up in that second and throughout the first round. But I think it took a lot out of Ngannou. And if Ngannou gets overwhelmed early, he could use up a little too much energy. And I think that's the one thing that Ngannou's big weakness is. And like you said, Stipe just kept running that same play, go for takedown, and land what you can on the top. Because if you limit your stand-up time, I mean, Francis Ngannou isn't going to hit you with these swinging bombs. And when he is standing up,
he's very patient now, Francis Ngannou. And something else is he's trained this whole camp in France.
Oh yeah, he's out of. He's not training in the States anymore.
No, he's in France.
That's good.
That's horrible.
What? I don't know. I think that's better than.
I think he should have stayed in Vegas. No, man. He has better training partners, so you have to get himself a better camp. You can't go back to. He thinks France was what was working for him, man.
Buddy Dana White's dissing him up, and not really giving him very many places to train. I mean, he opened the UFC gym up to him just to tell him, "Hey, man, you had a terrible fight against Derek Lewis. Get out of here."
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on. We only have you for a few more fights. That's the only reason why we're not cutting and pulling the plug. But I mean, the fact they're giving him Curtis Blaydes again is pretty interesting.
I think they're giving it Curtis Blaydes again. I think they're giving Ngannou to Blaydes. I think this is a setup for Blaydes to become the heavyweight champion once and for all after DC fights Lesnar.
I think it's well deserved.
I think he deserves his title shot soon too, man. He's a monster.
I think it's well deserved because Curtis Blaydes in an earlier fight took out Alexei Oleinik, who since that fight is on a 2-fight win streak, and a lot of people are looking at this guy like, man, he's handing people their asses right now, and he's 53 fights, like 45, 44 years old or something.
Yeah,
killing it. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna make a 2, but
no.
Curtis Blaydes, I think wants that belt, and I think he's on a good path to get it. He's got great takedowns. Ngannou really gave him a bit of a problem, but other than that, he rolled through a lot of other people. He can take a lot of people's best stand-up, like you said, Alistair Overeem and Mark Hunt, and deal with it and get people to the ground where he's good at finishing it. Whereas Francis Ngannou, on the other hand, he's really a little wild out there. I think he does tend to use up too much energy at times. He waits for people to leave him alone in order to get those rest times. He likes to really beat people up and bully them in order for them to leave him alone, and then he can kind of set up his punch when he's ready. But if you don't give him that time, if you don't give him that space and just keep grinding, I think Curtis Blaydes ends up doing what he should have done in that first fight, or hell, even should have done in that third round. Because before I watched that fight, I kind of thought that Ngannou already won that fight with the punches that he was landing throughout. But he looked super tired, and he's looking sloppy. And as he gets tired, he starts making very rash decisions. more wild strikes and lots of waiting. And I think that's all Curtis Blaydes needs to grab a leg and set him up on the floor. And if he's got no energy, I think it's going to be just a matter of time before Curtis Blaydes gets him in that ground and pound and elbows. So I got Curtis Blaydes to win it. I think he has a similar strategy and gets him to the ground and maybe even starts a game plan that he wasn't able to in the last fight.
Yeah, man, I see the same thing. People think that it's very easy to learn wrestling in like a short period of time or something. I don't know, but
No.
I think Curtis basically isn't going to let Ngannou up as easy as he was letting him up in the first fight. I think he mauls him here. So I got Razor Blaydes in decision. Not in decision, inside the distance here. I didn't play him inside the distance, but I did play 4 units minus 210 Curtis Razor Blaydes, and then I've got 5 units on Yazong and Coulter and Razor and Curtis Blaydes and Ngannou. Fight doesn't go to decision. Fight doesn't go to decision for Coulter and Yazong as well. Minus 142, I believe, 5 units. So that's all the bets. That's all the breakdown. That's all the predictions. Drop a like for us. Subscribe to us. Show kicks off in about 3.5 hours. Yeah, looking forward to it, guys. So take care and cheers, man. Let's cash these bets.
Cash it in. Have a good weekend, everyone.